Ladies and gentlemen, it's basketball time. Welcome to the state tournament.
Our expectations were high. We felt like that. We wanted to be at our best when the tournament came here, and we tried to keep them as fresh as we could during the season, and work hard at the same time.
We all had really big goals that we were going to reach eventually, and so I think we were all ready to really put everything on the line and work hard for each other.
Going into the season, personally, I just wanted to win a state championship. It was my senior year. All of us had a goal.
We all just had the same mindset, like just win, like get to states.
From the start, we just knew we're going to states, we're going to states, we're going to win this year. That was just our thought going into the season, and that was our energy the whole time.
I didn't think I was even gonna make it till like halfway through the season. Doctors told me I wasn't gonna be back till December. So when I was back like the third, fourth, fifth practice, I was like, oh yeah, we gonna win.
After a 25-win and 2-loss season, the 2022 Reynoldsburg Lady Raiders took one final trip to the OHSAA Division I State Championship.
My trust in these kids was so high that I knew that they were going to go out and give everything they had, and I think that maybe helped calm me a little bit. I mean, we'd played in the Final Four before, but never in that game on that stage against a team like that.
A team like that, the 27-2 Mason Comets, led by 6'6" center and McDonald's All-American Kyla Oldacre, whose presence added extra motivation.
When you're a little girl and you sleep, drink, eat basketball, like those are your dreams, like, oh, I'm gonna be All-American stuff. So when everything came out, I was like, all right, like when I ever go against them, I'm gonna give it my all. Like I'm gonna show people that I was meant to be one of them.
For a team led by upperclassmen and an opportunity to win their school's first state title, undoubtedly, there were nerves and pressure.
Oh, I was nervous. I was nervous, but I say I get nervous before every game because, it takes a lot of heart and it takes a lot of courage to go out there in front of a big stage. But at the end of the day, it was a lot of our last years and we knew what we wanted. I definitely felt pressure because I felt like everybody on the team was telling me that I was the key and like this was my moment to shine, and I just try to relax and not think about it as much.
I didn't really feel as much pressure as the starting five would, but I feel like I kind of tried to relieve some of the pressure when I came into the game, more so than feeling more of the pressure before the game. Just to be like the support they needed on defensive end, even if they didn't need me on offensive end sometimes.
I was sweating a lot. I wasn't really nervous. I don't know, I was like anxious. Like I was like, oh my God, like this is real.
As the game got underway, Coach Jack Bertel had one defensive strategy in mind.
We really wanted to try to pressure their guards, and their guards were good, but we tried to pressure their guards to make it hard to get entry passes into Kyla. Kyla's a really good player. I mean, she's agile for as big as she is, and she's got a little nastiness to her too, which I like. I mean, she's going to be a great college player.
Our problem in the first half was we were like over guarding Oldacre. At some point we were tripling her, so we were like, where our man's at, and like some of their other players got more points.
We just always knew that when we scored, she was probably gonna score. It was hard to stop her.
Sam, she got 2 early ones, and she was a little upset.
He just told me to keep my head up, don't worry about what the refs are calling, and just play how like I know how to play.
Me and Sam's position aren't really similar. I have been in her position before, but being in a position like that during a Final Four game and a final game was something that was pretty daunting, but I'm glad I was able to push through it.
In the meantime, Mason had a strategy of their own, one that was all too familiar.
They didn't do anything we didn't expect. We saw when they played Mount Notre Dame, they played boxing 1 on KK, and I figured they would probably guard Maya the same way, so we practiced for that.
I knew it wasn't going to be easy because it's happened before, and I knew when it came down to it, she was not going to get off of me. It's the last game. This is states. Like, I just say that I don't get frustrated with myself. I try to remain calm because, you know, my team has a lot of faith in me and they put a lot of their stress on me and I carry a lot of it myself. So I knew that I just had to stay calm and I had to put my faith into my teammates.
I'm a downhill person, so it was clearing up the middle easier for me because if this person right here is going to be face guarding Maya, that means that is 4 less people that's on me. So when I drive, they going to have to be worried about their man. So something's going to be open in here for me.
I mean, she was incredible. She's aggressive. You know, she knows that we need her to score, you know, if we're going to win. And on that stage, I think it was really good that she got us going. You know, she had a couple off defense, got an offensive rebound, put it back. You know, and like I said, she hit a couple threes, and I think Mari got us going. There's no doubt.
Heading into halftime, the Raiders were down by 8 with the season-long motto.
You know, we've talked all year. We say up 10 or down 10, we're not out of this game. 10, if we're 10 up, we're not going to win necessarily. If we're 10 down, we're not going to lose. So we just kind of keep that mindset, you know, coming in knowing we had to go out and get some stops, we had to make some shots, and we had to make some plays.
In the third, the stops were hard to come by as Mason built an 11-point lead.
Yeah, I felt like as the stakes got higher and the clock started winding down, that our kids, you know, that's what happens when you have seniors. You know, we had 5 seniors, they had 1, you know, and my high school coach used to always say you win with seniors. I think he's right.
I had to step up. Like, I can guard her, like, okay, she's big, but I'm physical, she's physical. Like, I can give her a run for her money.
As a point guard, I feel like I can tell when we need a bucket or when we need to slow down. So I'm just really good at controlling the pace of the game and like knowing when I need to pass it and get someone else hot or when I need to get hot myself.
I knew I had to. We were down the whole game by almost 10, 12 points, so I knew that if I didn't give it my all, then we were gonna be sent home, and I knew I didn't want to feel that feeling because I would never have a high school experience again, so.
The Raiders clawed to close the gap. Well into the fourth quarter, the Mason Comets' lead remained until one more Raider senior stepped up.
So every time, like, we were down by 12 going into the fourth. And every time we just would look at each other and say, we got this.
Trinity had a great year for us. You know, and she didn't have to score to be one of our best players. You know, she guarded. Micaiah would miss like 10 games when she broke a bone in her foot. And Trent took over at the point and did a great job, took care of the basketball. But I had one of the best views of those 2 shots because they were both, you know, Micaiah hit her on the first one and it looked good. And then Mari got her the second one. And, you know, that turned the whole game around.
Her hitting those shots and being able to see her with that confidence definitely gave us more confidence because she's our energy. So when she gives it to us, we always just project it on each other.
All of my teammates kept on encouraging me to shoot, but it was just a relief. I was like, "Oof, finally!" And I'm also a rhythm shooter, so that meant that I was bound to hit another one. I saw when I was running down the court, I was wide open in the same spot, and that's when I knew I was making it. So you see me jumping, Mari, give me the ball, and I got it, she trusted me, and I made it. And you could see me after that. It got everyone hyped. literally everyone, because I usually don't get hyped for myself. You'll see me going and one, but you'll never see me getting hyped for myself. And you just see me marching like this after. It's so funny.
I was like, oh yeah, she got these ones. And I'm like, yeah, Trent.
I feel like everybody's heart dropped. Like, we were just, I don't know if it was shock, but after that, we all just went like on a run. Like, we were like, okay, this is our time. Like, we got it. Now we're here. And then we all just played our hardest.
It just like brought the whole momentum back up. And I was actually very proud of her.
Yeah, that was definitely our hype moment. We were good to go. We just knew. Like, after Trinity hit those 2 threes, we just knew. We were like, this is our game. We're winning this. We're taking this title back home.
And late in the fourth quarter, the Raiders had one final play.
Micaiah started holding him quiet and told her. I mean, she knew.
It's no way you guys are that scared to guard us man-to-man. So at some point, it was like 40 seconds. It was going super slow for me because I'm the one holding the ball.
We needed to get them out of the zone because Mari's a hard matchup. As soon as they went man, we ran this little X play, we call it. Mari went scored right away, and we gave us, I think, our first lead since the first quarter.
With Mason scoring a tying 2 points and the game now tied at 47, the Raiders were headed to overtime.
I think the mindset was, we got this. We were going to win after overtime. I know we should have won before even overtime even happened. But we were extremely prepared, I felt like. We were mentally there and mentally ready to win.
The whole game I thought we were going to win, I'm not going to lie. I wasn't going to go into that game thinking we were going to lose.
Oh, we loved it. As soon as they hit overtime, we said, oh, this score is 0-0. This is a new start. Said, we don't have as much time on the clock, but it's time to give it our all. And we're going out with the state title.
When overtime came, I had like this new burst of energy because it's always an overtime with my dad. So I'm like, oh yeah, we winning this.
We just wanted to make sure to come over. We're playing 4 minutes for a state title, and we just wanted to be positive and make sure that we were doing it. And they scored first too, and then Mari made a couple of really good plays in a row. I think she might have scored 2 in a row. Maybe she might have had 6 in a row. Just on a couple of just tremendous moves, and just toughness.
And soon after, the Raiders knew the championship was theirs.
Once I looked up and I was like, oh my God, like I was about to start crying. There's still like a minute left on the clock. And I'm like, it's all right, like we winning.
Felt amazing. A lot of us were on the 3-point line because it kept going into free throws. So we had a lot of time and we were all just sitting looking at each other. We're like, we're taking this home. We're up. We just got to keep battling to the end. We're not stopping till the clock hits 0. But it was definitely a moment that I won't forget ever.
Emotional. I swear it was like 2 minutes left, and I think Maya was shooting free throws because they started fouling us. Me and Trinity were at half court waiting to get back on defense, and I look over at Trinity, and her eyes are watering. I'm like, Trinity, the game is not over yet. Why are you about to cry? And it was just so funny. Like, I will not forget that moment.
It's like 40 seconds left. You can see me look at Micaiah at half court while someone, I believe it's Sam or Maya, shooting a free throw. You can see me just look at Micaiah and start bawling my eyes out and say, this is my last time playing with you ever.
I started getting really excited. I started crying because I was talking to her about how I was supposed to be here during the season. And how I felt extremely overwhelmed because this was extremely big, like a state championship. That's amazing.
I felt like there was joy and then there was sadness and it was just all mixing in together. I've been playing with most of these girls for 2 years and they're like older sisters to me. So I'm glad that I got to win with them.
Joy, elation, happiness, I guess. But I had to keep those guys. Trinity was out there boo-hooing with like 24 seconds left. I'm like, keep your head, and it's not over yet. And even we were up like 9 points, but they had a couple timeouts left, and we knew we couldn't score, and we had to make free throws, which we did. But it's the happiest days of my life.
What do you want people to remember most about this team?
I think the toughness, the sisterhood, the camaraderie, the fact that, they did something our school was never done before, and makes them, it's going to be special forever.
Our energy, how we always had energy, no matter what. If we were down, if we were up by 40, by 20, we always had energy.
I think I want people to remember most about this team is our resilience. I feel like just over the season, we had a lot of pressure on us from the beginning. Even during that last game, there was still pressure on us, even when we were down during certain points in time. But I think we just, every single time we managed to come back up, managed to keep fighting day after day, after every single game. We were still pushing harder to get to that goal we wanted, which was state championship.
Really how hard we worked, because I don't think people understand how hard we worked individually. Because every single person on our team really does work hard, because basketball really is our life for a lot of people on our team. So yeah, I think we're just such a hard-working team.
I want them to remember that we had to play as a team. Like, it wasn't one person. Everybody had to play their role and play it good for us to win.
That we played as a family, and that even off the court, we are all rooting for each other.
Nothing could stop us from how determined we were to win states. The work we put in, the things we went through, media, everything, like no one was able to stop how we wanted to work, how we were going to play. And I want people to remember, like, we were family, and we played as a family, and we won as a family.